Once upon a time, in a quaint village bordering a vast, mysterious forest, there lived a sweet girl named Red Riding Hood. She was known for her bright red cloak, a gift from her beloved grandmother, which she wore every time she ventured out. One sunny morning, her mother called her into the kitchen, where the scent of freshly baked bread wafted through the air. "Red," her mother said with a gentle tone, "your grandmother is feeling unwell. I need you to take her this basket of goodies. But remember, stay on the path and don't talk to strangers." With a nod of understanding, Red Riding Hood set off on her journey, her heart light and her spirit high. As she walked through the forest, the sunlight danced through the leaves, creating a patchwork of shadows on the ground. The chirping of birds and the rustling of small creatures filled the air, making it a perfect day for a walk. Yet, as she ventured deeper into the woods, a sense of unease began to creep in, whispering that perhaps the forest held secrets beyond its beauty. Suddenly, from behind a thick tree trunk, a big, sly wolf appeared. He was deceptively charming, with a friendly smile that could easily mislead anyone. "Where are you going, little girl?" he asked, his voice smooth like honey. Red Riding Hood, who had always been taught to be polite, replied, "I'm off to my grandmother's house to bring her some goodies." She felt a tingle of caution, but dismissed it, thinking of her grandmother's warm smile and the delicious treats waiting for her. The wolf's mind raced with a wicked plan. He knew the forest well, and with a swift flick of his tail, he dashed ahead, taking a shortcut to Grandma's house. Arriving first, he knocked on the door, and when Grandma opened it, he didn't hesitate. With a swift motion, he swallowed her whole, leaving no trace behind. He then donned her nightgown, complete with a frilly cap, and slipped into her bed, hiding beneath the covers, eagerly awaiting the arrival of Red Riding Hood. When Red Riding Hood finally reached her grandmother's house, she noticed something strange. The door creaked open, and she stepped inside, feeling a chill run down her spine. "Grandma!" she called, her voice echoing slightly in the stillness. As she approached the bed, she squinted at the figure under the covers. "Grandma, what big eyes you have!" The wolf, feigning a raspy voice, replied, "To see you better, my dear." Red Riding Hood's heart raced, but she pressed on. "Grandma, what big ears you have!" "To hear you better, my dear," the wolf responded, his grin growing wider. "Grandma, what big teeth you have!" she exclaimed, her instincts screaming at her to flee. "Why, to eat you better!" The wolf growled, lunging at her with a ferocious snap of his jaws. But Red Riding Hood was clever. In a split second, she grabbed a nearby chair and hurled it at the wolf with all her might. The chair clattered against the wall, creating a loud noise that echoed through the house. The commotion stirred a hunter who was passing by, who quickly rushed in with an axe in hand, drawn by the sound of danger. With a fierce shout, the hunter scared the wolf away, causing him to retreat with a yelp, his wicked plan thwarted. The hunter then turned his attention to the wolf, and with a swift, decisive motion, he cut open the wolf's belly. Out tumbled Grandma, gasping for air but safe and sound, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Oh, my dear Red Riding Hood!" Grandma exclaimed, wrapping her arms around her granddaughter. "You were so brave." From that day on, Red Riding Hood learned a valuable lesson. She promised herself to always listen to her mother's advice, knowing that the world could be filled with dangers disguised as friendly faces. As for the wolf, he slinked away into the depths of the forest, his heart heavy with the knowledge that he would never again dare to trick little girls. The forest, once a place of mystery and allure, now held a different meaning for Red Riding Hood, a reminder of the importance of caution, wisdom, and the love of family. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the village, Red Riding Hood and her grandmother sat together, sharing stories and laughter. The basket of goodies lay between them, a symbol of love and care, but more importantly, a reminder of the bond they shared. They spoke of their adventures, the lessons learned, and the strength that comes from facing fears together. In the days that followed, Red Riding Hood would often visit her grandmother, bringing with her not just treats, but tales of her own adventures, filled with the wisdom she had gained. The villagers, too, began to share stories of bravery and caution, each tale echoing through the generations, reminding everyone that while the world can be beautiful, it can also be filled with shadows that lurk just out of sight. And so, the legend of Red Riding Hood spread far and wide. A story not just of a girl in a red cloak, but of courage, cleverness, and the unwavering love between a grandmother and her granddaughter. The forest remained a place of wonder, but now it was also a place of respect, where the whispers of the past mingled with the laughter of the present, teaching all who entered that true strength lies in listening to one's heart and heeding the wisdom of those who care.